training, we're going to talk about selecting properties. So when we are making offers out of the MLS, there's certain properties we offer on and certain properties we don't offer on. If we're making offers direct to sellers, that's off-market properties, we pretty much offer on everything. All right, so there's a distinction there. So if it's on the MLS, we definitely are a little more picky on what we will offer on, because a lot of these properties on the MLS are looking for retail buyers. But unless the property is completely beat up, then they are looking for investors. If we're dealing direct with a seller, so it's off market, it's not in the MLS, then we're pretty much offering on every single one of those, no matter what the condition is. Okay, so I'm going to jump into this video. I'm going to show you, well, in this video in particular, I'm just going to show you the extreme examples. So the properties that we definitely don't offer on and the properties we definitely offer on. And then I'm going to shoot a second video that talks about those properties that are more in between. They're kind of depending on the market. We offer on them or we don't offer on them, just depending on their what market we're in. So, for example, a year ago, a lot of the in-between properties we weren't offering on at all because they were all being bought up by retail buyers because there was no inventory. But now we're in a much more softer market, and those in-between properties we are kind of offering on. And I'll get into that in a separate video. So in this video, I'm going to go through properties that we definitely will offer on and properties we definitely will not offer on. Example of a property that we would offer on. You can tell this property is pretty beat up. You can get inside here and you can see that the kitchen is really old, outdated. There's kind of some functional layout stuff. And it's just really messy inside, right? Just really dirty, messy. Needs a lot of updating. That's definitely a property we would offer on. Property we would not offer on. So you can see in the thumbnail that it's been updated. And right here you can see stickers on the appliances. So you can click on the image and make it larger and really check into it. But when you see stickers on appliances like that, like right here, those are brand new appliances. They probably updated everything in this house. I wouldn't say this is a terrific remodel, but they definitely remodeled it for looking for a retail buyer. You can see they put in new carpet. They still got the tape down for the carpet. They still need to finish the stairs with the carpet. So actually, that's not carpet. I wonder if that's like underlayment. So they're planning on carpeting the basement. That's what's going on there. But you can tell they're getting this. There we go. Now the carpet's laid. I don't know why they put that in there. But anyways, this is not a property we'd offer on. They're looking for a retail buyer. They've already fixed it up. Property that I'll talk more about later. But you can see the cabinets are older, the appliances are older, but it's still pretty clean in there. So like a year ago, investor buyers are gobbling these up right and left. We had no chance of getting this property. But now in the softer market, we do. And I'll talk more about these in-between properties in a separate video. Example of a property we would not offer on. You can see right away that they redid the outside, so the inside is going to be really nice. Now, a lot of times I flip through these just on thumbnail, and when you get better at it, you can just do thumbnail. It's faster. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to enlarge each one so you can actually see what I'm looking at. All right, so you can see they redid the outside. They did this wood paneling. They painted it. They put in a new fence. This property is going to be pretty nice inside. So let's get inside this property. This white look is really the new modern look that that investors are doing, that buyers are buying. So you can see this white kitchen, new appliances, new new countertops, new cabinets. The bathrooms are probably going to be super nice. This is staged. This white look, this new white look is exactly what investors are building out for. So this property has already been rehabbed. It's ready for a retail buyer. We would not offer on this property. Property we would not offer on. This has been remodeled. This is a fresh remodel property. So here is the outside wasn't super telling. Their curb appeal was okay, but so you couldn't really tell from the outside if it's already been updated. But once you get in, you see they redid the floors and they updated the kitchen. So this would be a property we would not offer on. Uh, First part of the video, I was at the beginning of the 500, so you can see all the pricing. Whoops, is this number one? We were here, and all this was the 500s, right? And then working its way down to 499 and further down in price. So a lot of times these properties are going to be nicer at the top of the price range. So I just went and flipped right over here to 17, so that we're getting to the very cheapest stuff. And here's a property that we would offer on, depending on, I mean, this one's really rough, but this is an extreme example. No retail buyer in their right mind is going to buy this property. It's burnt. It's fire damaged house. It's probably a scrape, which we don't offer on scrapes, but we'll get into that in a separate video. But this is an extreme example of a house that needs a lot of work. This is what we're after, right? We're after properties that need work. We're looking for properties where investors can come in, fix them up, make them look like those ones we wouldn't offer on at the beginning of the video. That's what we're after. So let me get into some little bit better examples of this. This would be one that's probably a scrape, and we don't offer on scrapes. But again, separate video. But this is just an extreme example of a property that needs a lot of work, right? So this would be something we would offer on. Property that we would not offer on. This is in the lower price range end, but it's a small house. And so somebody came in and they have updated it. So yes, it has white appliances, but they put in a new kitchen and they're just selling it really cheap. But they have updated this, made it really nice and clean, and they're looking for a retail buyer. Nothing that we would really have a play on. There's no fix up that's really needed. They even got can lights in here and new flooring, painted the walls. This is really nice. So we would not offer on this property. Example of a property that we would offer on. You can just tell by the thumbnails that this thing is in really rough shape. So dirty, the door doesn't look like it shuts. Outside's pretty rough. Looks like the roof is really in bad shape. Has an old fireplace in it. This dirty wood paneling, all that's very outdated. This kitchen's very outdated. This is obviously a property we'd offer in any market. No retail buyer is going to be interested in this property. In fact, if you probably go to the verbiage over here, it's going to say right there, fixture with great potential, right? So this is something that that the real estate agent knows that our investor is going to be buying. You can tell right here in this picture, this house has serious problems, probably a hoarder situation. So if you've ever seen the hoarder shows they have on TV, we see those a lot in our world because hoarders just destroy properties and they fill it up with junk, and no retail buyer wants it. So you can tell by this one that this house hasn't been updated in 40 years. This bad electrical panel. They're obviously telling telling us that this is an investor grade property. In fact, if you flip to this, it's going to probably say so. Needs work, cash only, right? So yeah, so obvious investor grade property. These photos that they just don't let you inside the house for whatever reason. You run across from time to time. You often run across one where they only have one photo. But this one, for example, has 19 photos, but they don't let you inside the house. But you can tell from the outside that this is probably this little shack thing they've got going on. You can tell from the front door, the blinds being torn. You can tell that the inside of this thing is going to be in pretty rough shape. So this would be a house that we'd oh, here they go. They do let you in, finally. Okay. So we get inside. This is obviously a property we offer on. Kitchen hasn't been updated in 70 years, right? I mean, look at the flooring here. This is a beat up investor property. Right here that you can tell this from the thumbnail. This thing is in rough shape. This is not something a retail buyer is going to be interested in buying. This is only an investor property. So when you get inside, I mean, you can see this property hasn't been updated forever and ever, right? And it's in really bad shape. Look at this kitchen. These are old cabinets. So this is another extreme example of one that we would offer on. Right. So I might have let that run just for a second. Sorry about that. But anyways, here's another one right here that had just has one photo. So typically, when you see that they only have one photo on there, that means it is a fix-up property. They don't want to let you inside the property for whatever reason. They just think the realtors just think it's too ugly to put on the internet. So that's normally why you only see one photo. Once in a while, you see one photo just because the realtors is trying to get it out as quickly as possible and they don't have photos. But normally it's because the inside of the property is pretty bad. So let's pull it up. You can right away you can see the garage door is pretty banged up, and but that's all you've got. So you can go into the listing and see what they have to say down in their verbiage. All right, so um, right here they say want to build some sweat equity. So they're already telling you that this house needs work, needs some TLC. TLC is tender loving care. That's what that means. All right. So when you see that type of verbiage, you know that the inside is rough. We will offer on that property. They only give you 3 photos of the outside. And so then when you flip into the listing, they just give you no information whatsoever. Hardwood floors, covered patio, you know, nothing, right? So judging by the looks of the outside, it probably hasn't been updated in a long time. I would just go ahead and offer on this one. We would make the assumption that the property needs work. Going through, right, you quickly see this one. There's one that we would not offer on. You can see the kitchen is really nice, been updated, uh, beautiful backsplash. I love what they did at the place. And so this is be one that we would not offer on this video. I just want to kind of show you how I flip through these. So I'm not spending a ton of time on these. So this is how quickly I'm going through. No, no. I already saw the outside. No, the kitchen's beautiful. No, kitchen's new. See how quickly I'm going through these? Maybe. No. All right. So we're not spending a ton of time on each one. Now, at the beginning, I don't expect you to be this quick, but this is where you want to get to, right? Maybe. This is an in-between that we'll talk about later. Maybe. In-between, right? I'll get to that. I'm just going to go through this. I'm going to show you how quickly I'm going through these. Couldn't quite tell. Yes. Right. So I'm just giving you no, 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 maybe. That's an in-between. I'm just because of the white appliances. That's it. But I'm not going to spend time on it right now. I'll talk about that later. Maybe. Yes. Maybe. That's an in-between, but we'll talk about that later. Yes. I will offer on that. Look at that old kitchen. That's kind of almost an in-between, but I would offer on that right now. Maybe. So I'm just going to say maybe for the in-betweens. No, not right now. No. So this is just giving you a sense of how I go through these. No. There's one picture. All right. So we've got to take a quick closer look at this. Go down here. Seller plans on making some fixes. So this would be a maybe, probably. Looks like they need to do work, so I would make an offer at that we buy it as is, and maybe the seller would grab that up. All right, so I'm just going to continue flipping through. Maybe. Yes. Yes. This property needs some work. I don't know what they did with the flooring. The kitchen's old. Yeah. No. Whoa. Yes. Definitely yes. Okay. So you're getting a sense of how quickly And when I say yes, I'm checking these normally because these are the ones I'm going to download. No. All right. So sorry, I wasn't really talking about that earlier. I'm checking these when I say yes. All right. Yes. That's kind of a maybe, but I'd say yes. No. No. The kitchen's newer. That's an in between. That's a maybe. All right. So I'm going to stop there. This video is getting kind of long. So you got a sense of extreme no's and extreme yeses that we do want. The yeses we're selecting and we're exporting those, which are the export buttons right there. We'll talk about that in another video. This is just trying to get you so that you get a sense of what we're looking for, what we're not looking for.